Today we're going to talk about something that can be pretty scary for most of us. I'm talking about sharing something personal with someone you just started dating. For more videos on how to take charge of your love life, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And don't forget to like this video if you found it valuable. If you struggle with vulnerability, I want you to know you're not alone. Growing up, I was taught vulnerability was weakness. So I armored up every time I had emotions, feelings, and you could call it, I was taught to keep face. But now we're learning that vulnerability is required in order to create deep intimacy and connection with another person. But here's the deal, even though vulnerability is important, not everyone you meet deserves to know your story. First things first. Timing matters when it comes to vulnerability. And I'm not talking about a magic number of how many dates you've been on. I'm talking about asking yourself a few questions. Number one, do I feel emotionally safe with this person? Number two, have they shown that they can handle serious conversations with empathy? Number three, are they being vulnerable? Are they sharing about themselves as well? Before you're vulnerable, you want to know if the person across from you has the capacity to be vulnerable as well. That is where the trust is developed, and that is where the bond is created. Now let's talk about the actual conversation. I'm going to give you some practical tips that has helped me learn how to be vulnerable in my word tracks that I use in order to share something personal. First, you want to set up a time with them and let them know that you want to talk to them about something important to you, and make sure that they're not distracted, they're not on their phones, that they're actually paying attention and they can actively listen to you. The first thing I would say is, hey, I want to share something personal with you. I feel very safe and supported, and I know that you're going to come from a place of compassion and understanding of the situation. It means a lot to me that I can tell you about it. Then the next part is to do the actual sharing about your feelings and be honest. It's okay for you to say things like, I'm really nervous sharing this right now. I've not done this before, or I feel very nervous sharing this with you. I hope that you keep this in privacy between us. Then share your story and be direct. You do not have to apologize. Just be honest and share your truths. And finally, after you share your story, you have to give them time to process. They might not have the perfect answer right away, and that's okay, as long as they were actively listening, supporting you, making you feel seen and understood. Let them process and get back to you. I want to give you an example. I have a client that contracted an STD from her ex-husband. He cheated on her, and now she actually is single and trying to date again. And she wants to convey her story without a person judging her and making sure that she feels supported. And then she would share her story about her ex-husband cheating on her and her contracting the STD. The person that she shared that with, he was so caring and supportive, and they both went to the doctor to figure out how they can continue to date and keep him safe as well. And since then, they got engaged and now they're married. And that's why it's so important to know how to tell your story. Now, some of you may be going, well, what if they run for the hills? What if they reject me? Yeah, there's a risk. When you're vulnerable, there's a chance that someone will say, no, I don't accept your story, or I don't want to be involved in this. And that's okay. This almost acts as a filtering system of somebody that can actually meet your needs and support you. If someone can't handle your truth with care and respect, they're probably not right for you anyways. Remember, being vulnerable is not about trauma dumping. It is a gradual process of building trust, building connection, and sharing things slowly and deeply that are important to you, to the other person. And there is a back and forth between you both as you're doing it. Sometimes the things that we're afraid of sharing the most are the same things that create the deepest connections. Now, if you're struggling with this right now, I want you to know many of us have been exactly where you are. Just take a deep breath, trust your gut, and know the right person is going to appreciate the real you. If you want support, I'm here to help. Visit me at amythedatingcoach.com. I do have private coaching and group coaching programs to help support you find lasting love. And please leave a comment or question below. I do reply. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.